Hi, it's day 198 of the war in Sudan, and I'm here to give you a quick and dirty of what's been going on. First up, some geography. This is Sudan. We are a country in Africa. We're bordered by Egypt, Libya, Chad, the Central African Republic, South Sudan, Ethiopia, and Eritrea. We had a beautiful popular uprising turned revolution in 2019 that was totally ruined by these two guys. On the right, we have, we'll just call him Burhan. He's the leader of the Sudanese military called SAF. On the left, you have, we'll just call him Hemeti. He's the leader of the Rapid Support Forces called the RSF. I'll cut to the chase. They're both bad. Burhan is bad because he was part of the military dictatorship the Sudanese people revolted against in 2019 in the first place. And then after the revolution, instead of handing over power to a civilian government like everybody wanted, he decided, nah, I want to be president. Hemeti is bad because he's a psychopath. Before the fancy uniform and the fancy title, he was leader of the Janjaweed. If you remember the Darfur War, you know what the Janjaweed are. If you don't, then it is basically a militia contracted by the Sudanese government to kill people in Darfur. Fast forward, he is legitimized by the Sudanese government. They go from Janjaweed to Rapid Support Forces. He gets a fancy uniform and a fancy title. He amasses mountains of wealth and has aspirations to lead. Up until they started tussling on April 15th, these two were essentially president and vice president of Sudan. Now Burhan and SAF claim that the RSF is a rebel militia, they're a terrorist organization, and that SAF is the one protecting Sudan. Meanwhile, Hemeti and the RSF claim that they are protectors of democracy, that they are fighting against SAF to rid it of the remnants of the previous dictatorship, i.e. Burhan. So on April 15th, the war breaks out. It starts in Khartoum, essentially, and then moves through cities and towns all through central Sudan and into western Sudan. This, by the way, is a map from October 7th showing the number of displaced people and where they were displaced to. Pause to read. Now, earlier I said they're both bad. That's true, but the RSF is way worse. Over the last 7 months, the RSF has been committing heinous crimes against the Sudanese people. Besides the indiscriminate killing and bombing, they've also been raiding and looting towns, villages, neighborhoods, homes, expelling people from their homes after they've raided and looted them, and then sometimes even moving. Sexual violence is also a weapon that they have often used in the last 6 or so months, and all of these crimes that I've listed are part of their legacy dating back to when they were still the Janjaweed. There is absolutely no way that I could list all of the devastating effects that this war has had on Sudan and Sudanese people over the last 6 months in a 3-minute video. And after practically 6.5 months of fighting, SAF and the RSF are currently in negotiations and can't even agree on the basics. And why would they need to, when their funding is still rolling in and the world has shown it does not care?